In week 4, we heard about certain cadences. We heard about perfect cadences, which occur at the end of a piece and which sound very final. And we also heard about imperfect cadences, sometimes called half cadences, which are a temporary stopping point for the music before the music moves on somewhere else. For example, if we're in the key of D major, we might hear a passage something like this. Which obviously is not the end of a piece, ending there with an imperfect cadence. But there are two other important cadences to be considered. First of all, the one we call interrupted, or sometimes called deceptive. Now, if we recall our 1C5-1 cadence, but change just one chord, if we change the final chord to chord 6, which is the submediant, it sounds like this. It sounds very different. Let's compare again. And I think you'll agree that both the words interrupted and deceptive describe the effect here very well. The music obviously must continue. I'll play you another example. That one was in D major, but let's have one in G minor. Here's a 1C5-1 in G minor. And here's an interrupted cadence in G minor. Moving to chord 6, where the music demands that it continues. The other cadence we need to know about is called the plagal cadence, sometimes called a hymn or church cadence, because it's the one you often hear in an amen at the end of a hymn. And it's chord 4 to chord 1, the subdominant to the tonic, in F major here. This is a cadence that was used a great deal in church music in medieval Renaissance period, but subsequently too. And interestingly, we find it pops up quite often in newer music, in blues and rock and pop. And a number of examples can be found in Beatles songs. For example, With a Little Help from My Friends, the last 3 chords of which are the last 2 of these making up the plagal cadence. 4-1. And interestingly here, there's an extra flavour added because of the modal influence of the third last chord. The third last chord is based on the flattened leading note. Here is a scale of E major. Leading note, this time with the flattened leading note, which gives us what we call the mixolydian mode. And if you base a chord on that D, it gives you the third last chord of that song. And interestingly, it's also used in Hey Jude. Here's the final chords of Hey Jude. With the plagal cadence as the last 2 and the mixolydian chord, the third last.